I wanted to say thank you for everybody coming, and then Richard and Jordan we have from Marabu, who is going to go through a little bit of training with us, and then after that we will go through what I have to go through with us. Okay, Chuck, if you could go ahead and take it away.
All right. Well, again, thanks guys for taking the time. I don't know how are most of you familiar with Marabu and what we do and what we sell?
No.
Okay.
No.
I am, but that's okay.
Okay. So to give you just a little bit of background, Marabu is a 160-year-old family-owned business. We are a German company. We're based just north of Stuttgart, Germany, in a town called Tam. And we are an ink manufacturer. So we produce ink. We are an OEM for some printer manufacturers out there that you're well aware of. But we also sell our ink under our own brand. So as you may or may not know, most of the printer manufacturers out there don't make their own ink. So they come to people like us to produce a product and put their label on it. But like I said, we also sell it as under our own brand. So we also manufacture Clear Shield, the Clear Shield line of liquid laminates. So this is a liquid coating. It's an alternative to film. It's not necessarily meant to take the place of film, but it's meant to give a customer an option. And in some cases, it's the only solution when we talk about things like wall covering and canvas. So we're going to discuss liquid coatings today and some application fluids. And as I said before, feel free to just jump in and if you have questions, just ask me and we'll go from there. So we're going to talk today about, like I said, coatings. Three product lines that we're going to discuss are the Clear Shield water-based coatings, which is the majority of what you guys sell a good amount of that product. You guys do a really good job with it. That's the lion's share of what we'll discuss today. We're going to touch briefly on the Clear Jet coatings, which are solvent-based coatings, and then we are going to just touch on our UV curable product as well, which is Marabu. So what are some of the features and benefits that Clear Shield offers? Guys, hang on 1 second for me. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
And while he's got us all quiet, just so you guys know, I love this much more than frog juice.
I agree.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I said that me and Mary both love Clear Shield much more than we love frog juice.
Right. Okay.
Okay, fine. You're up. What's the difference, frog juice and Clear Shield?
They're very similar, but this actually lasts a lot longer. Your warranty is much, much higher on this one. I've actually had frog juice. I've actually had a customer who did like 18 vehicles and all of them failed with frog juice and they do one thing about it versus Clear Shield. I've never had a failure, gosh, in B6. I'll just say that.
This product is a lot more user friendly. Frog juice it bubbles very easily when you're applying it.
Yes.
Guys, I'm sorry for that. I had a Dell technician in my office fixing a laptop of mine, and he was just leaving. So I apologize for that.
No problem. We'll take it out of your pay.
I appreciate it. So I just caught the end of, I heard a couple of you guys talking about frog juice, and I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the, we try and make a quality product. And I don't know if you guys have heard anything about this, but we caught wind of it probably last week. But it sounds like frog juice is going to get discontinued. Has anybody heard that?
No, but yay.
But the point being is that, if you have customers using frog juice and they like frog juice, that's fine. Our ClearJet line is a good substitute. So if you have somebody that when and if this comes down and there's an issue with sourcing and customer needs product, we are certainly welcome. We're certainly open to, if a customer wants to test it, give us a call. We'll send them an aerosol can, free of charge if you want to do that. So I just wanted to throw that out there so that you have that in case somebody's looking for, a substitute. So features and benefits, you can see, what we have here. For those of you that are familiar with the product, it is a less expensive solution option when compared to film. As I said, its intent is not to replace film. It's really intended to be an alternative solution to film. If somebody's really looking to cut costs, where we're seeing a pretty good spike in business is in what we call fleet graphics. I'm going to take vehicle wraps out of it for a minute, but when we talk about the box trucks, the U-Haul trucks, the Enterprise trucks that are out there, Penske trucks, all that kind of stuff, a lot of those people that are printing those graphics are looking to Liquid because we're able to provide good UV stability, chemical resistance, water resistance, and really cut their costs so that they can be a little more competitive. This product can still be stretched. It can still be heated to go around rivets, all that kind of stuff. It will behave the same way as film. The biggest hurdle to deal with is not from people using the product. People that use the product, once they understand it and they've had a chance to use it, they really like it. What we sort of fight with, we end up struggling with the installer. So if we're looking at vehicle wraps, for instance, somebody wants to use Clear Shield, plenty of people who use Clear Shield for vehicle wraps, but the problem is that, as you know, when you add that film laminate to 180 or whatever they're using, it gives it a little more body. It gives it some. With liquid laminate, it bonds to the media, so it's going to be pliable. And a lot of installers struggle or don't like the fact that it's super pliable. You're basically working with something like cellophane. So that's one of the things that we struggle with. And at that point, there's not much we can do. At that point, that's a personal preference. Either the print provider is going to say you have to use this, or they're just not going to use it, and that is kind of,
what
it can be applied to projects that exceed the limit of the sizes of a machine. So our liquid laminator is 63 inches. If somebody has something larger than that, it can be hand applied using a roller or a spray gun. So we have a handful of accounts that still do billboard type stuff, and they roll it on. They put it on the ground, they roll it on, and that's the way they apply it.
So what's like the warranty from Avery or 3M or Arlon?
That's a good question. So when we let's use the 3M MCS warranty, for instance. As you can imagine, liquid is a little bit more of a challenge when we talk about film thickness, right? So if you're applying this by hand with a roller or a spray gun, there's really no way to consistently get an even film thickness across that media. The only way to do that is by using a liquid laminator. I will tell you, I can't go into full detail, but I'm hoping I can by ISA, but we are in discussions with some manufacturers about using ClearShield in a matched component type warranty. So hopefully we will have something like that in the future, the near future. But if you have a customer who is MCS is 3M certified and they're selling that MCS warranty, I can't go into that equation and fill that void with ClearShield. So 3M's not going to warranty ClearShield, especially if it's hand applied. Hopefully down the line we'll have something available to you guys for that type of solution.
Is this liquid considered like cast or calendar? You know how the shrinkness?
Are you asking if is it going to shrink or can it go over cast or are you?
Yeah, I mean
it can go over and it'll go over cast or calendar. It doesn't matter.
But the shrinkness will be less or more if you put on a cast or.
Will it mimic its substrate?
It'll mimic its substrate, right? The way of putting it.
Okay.
So Angel, as you probably understand, if it's a cast or a calendar material and the calendar shrinks the material itself, then the clear shield will shrink along with it.
Yeah, but my thing is, you know how casts last longer than calendar, not because of shrinkness, but also from, for long term, like the weather. I don't.
So you're asking what the outdoor durability is?
Yeah, kind of like that.
Okay. So yeah, you're going to get, typically we say that, and that's a good question. And in Angel, if you can remind me just to show you guys a picture. I have a picture that that I think is a pretty telling sales tool, and I'll show it to you at the end.
Okay.
Before we get off, I'll share it on my screen. But typically we say it doubles the life of the ink. So we that sweet spot is 3 to 5 years. Now we have customers who have products that have been up for 8 years and it's perfectly fine. The photo that I'm going to show you is an image of are some images that we have on a container behind our building that gets sun 3/4 of the day here in Charleston, South Carolina, and the images have been up there since June of 2012, July of 2012. And the stuff that's coated with ClearShield looks great. The stuff that was uncoated, the vinyl is all it's all cracked and it's falling apart. So as far as durability goes, I don't have any issues with outdoor durability, UV resistance, any of that kind of stuff. The only thing that I will say where we might not be we're not as equal to film is maybe physical damage. So with film, you're adding a layer to that media, right? You're sticking another layer on top of your vinyl. So with liquid, it's bonding to the media. So when we talk about scratch resistance or just marring or physical damage, film is probably a little bit better because you've got that added layer before you hit your vinyl. With our product, it's bonded with the vinyl, so you're gonna hit the vinyl if you take like a stick to it or something gouges it. But just surface scratching, marring, it holds up just fine.
Okay. Yeah.
What happens if you reapply it?
You can. The only thing that I would say is, if are you saying in the case of something damages it or it's scratched or something like that?
Actually, I'm just thinking more of further protection, like say,
Further protection?
yeah,
Okay.
you've got a sign and you want to that's a year or two old. Can it be
Sure. It can be reapplied. Over time, those UV inhibitors that are in the coating, they're doing their job and they're absorbing UV light. When they're absorbing that UV light, they're being used up, for lack of a better term. So applying it again is certainly an option. Absolutely, because you can do that in the field. So real quick, we're going to talk about a couple of formulations that are the bread and butter of our products. We're going to talk about how do we determine compatibility, and then the different application methods that we use. So these are three of our basic products. Clear Shield Classic, which is used for your banners, your pressure sensitive vinyls. We have people using this stuff on all kinds of different applications. Fabrics, awning material, that kind of stuff. This product is sold in two different formulations. There's a Clear Shield Classic and Clear Shield Classic Light. Classic Light is just a little thinner in viscosity. And again, this is really designed for the banners and the vinyl applications. Clear Shield Canvas Guard is just as it kind of describes. It's designed for canvas. So any of your, especially the water-based canvases from Terra Fredericks, from Breathing Color, from Ultraflex, all that kind of stuff. Clear Shield Canvas Guard is the correct product to be used in those applications. It's designed to give the canvas some flexibility, because canvas is often stretched around stretcher bars and gallery wrapped. When they stretch that canvas and they crease the canvas around that stretcher bar, oftentimes if it's not coated, there'll be like a white crack along that crease. And that's the inkjet receptive layer cracking. So what the coating does, outside of UV protection, it gives the canvas some flexibility. So when they stretch it, it's clean. There's no crack. It's a better looking product at the end of the day. If you also think about where these things go, you go to hotel rooms. There's canvas prints on the walls. The cleaning people come in and they spray their sprays and they wipe stuff down with wet rags. This also gives the canvas protection from those chemicals or the water damaging the print. And then our last product is Clear Shield Wall Armor. This is probably our fastest growing product. This is designed for wall covering applications. We collected, Fellers Marabu have some fairly large customers use this product in 55-gallon drums. Wall coverings, whether it's a product sold by Dreamscape or sold by Corographics or Ultraflex, a lot of these, most of these jobs, they're not cheap. And customers want to know that, they're not going to have scuffing issues. The chair, leans up against a wall or is rolled back against a wall. The other thing that this product provides is Type 2 certification. And if you look at the Dreamscape or Corographics or Ultraflex products, a lot of them are Type 2 certified. It's an old ASTM standard that when we talk about commercial spaces, hotels, healthcare facilities, that kind of stuff, it's got those commercial spaces, anything that's put up on the wall has to meet this Class A Type 2 certification. And unfortunately, when you print to something like Dreamscape Suede, whether you're using UV ink or solvent ink or latex ink, once you print to it, that wall covering is no longer type 2 certified. So we actually, HP came to us probably about 5 years ago and said, look, we need some help, and this is what we're running into. And so we developed Wall Armor, and we had it tested at 2 independent labs that test for type 2, and it passed. So, you know, if you're dealing with a large company that's printing for, you know, Las Vegas hotels, Marriott groups, Hyatts, you know, healthcare facilities, type 2 might be something that comes up. For most people, it's all about scuff resistance and cleanability. And so this is a really good product. It can be applied by hand. It can be applied with a machine, but we'll go into that a little bit later. So these are the 3 main products that I think, you know, would be easiest for you guys to sell.
I've got 2 questions real quick.
Yeah.
First question is if any of the salespeople actually have questions on what to use. I'm assuming they can just call Jordan. Jordan, give them the answer.
Absolutely. Jordan or myself is, you know, as long as unfortunately, I'm not in the office all the time. So that's why I've kind of put Jordan and guys. So yeah, absolutely. You can call Jordan. She'll have the answers for you. She can make recommendations. And that's a good question because it leads into something we'll talk about here in a minute when we talk about how do we recommend the right product.
Right. Second question, I'm sorry, is you mentioned that, of course, this is going to be a little different than the extra layer of protection that a film will give. Can this go over a film? Let's say, you know, a film starts to dissipate, crack a little bit later, you know, let's take 2 years down the road. Can you add Clear Shield onto there to help protect it, give that extra layer of protection?
You could, yeah. I mean, I don't see why, unless the film was something like an anti-graffiti coating, I don't see why it would not stick.
Okay, thank you.
Could you talk about your anti-graffiti? I know I've sold it a couple times.
Sure. The anti-graffiti coating works very, very well, but unfortunately it is limited to its application. Anti-graffiti is a product that we've had for a long time, and originally it was designed for use over true solvent inks. And when I say true solvent inks, I mean, you know, the MEK based inks that were in blue boards and continuous ink machines. Unfortunately, anti-graffiti does not like to stick to anything but true solvent. So your eco solvent, your latex, your UV, it doesn't stick well to those inks. However, if a customer is, for instance, putting cut vinyl on a piece of dye bond, and it's going to be out in the elements, and there's possibility of it being defaced, or it's going to just be exposed to an area where, you know, it just might get pretty heavy soil, then absolutely the anti-graffiti would work well. But unfortunately, we just need to be aware of its limitations. We are working on developing that product so it works better on you know, all kinds of ink types. But it's a good product for the right application. All right. So we were talking earlier about how do we steer a customer in the right direction and give them the correct product for their application. So there's basically 3 questions that we want to ask. We want to know what type of ink they're using. Is it UV? Is it solvent? Is it latex? Is it water-based? What are they doing? What's the substrate? Is it vinyl? Is it banner material? Is it canvas? Is it wall covering? Is it some sort of rigid substrate? But, you know, we want to know what they're putting it on. And then we also want to know how do they want to apply it. So there's 3 ways to apply it. They can roll it with a paint roller. They can spray it out of a spray gun, or they can use a liquid laminator. So once we have those three questions, answers to those three questions, we can point them in the right direction. So what are those application methods? So we talked briefly brush and roll application. We don't really recommend brushing it on, but rolling it on is probably the way most people do it. We want to have them use a short nap roller. So 3/16 of an inch, no more than 1/4 of an inch nap, or a high density foam roller. Which one to use is personal preference. I like the short nap roller. To me, the foam roller, because of how porous it is, unless you let that roller really do the work and you don't push, you don't apply really much pressure to that roller. Foam, it's easy for the foam roller, in my opinion, to introduce air bubbles into the coating as you're rolling it. But again, it's totally up to them what they use. We just don't want them using a black foam roller because sometimes it'll bleed. Spray application, nothing fancy here as far as the gun that's being used. As long as it's a gravity-fed HVLP gun, you can get these guns at Harbor Freight. You can get them at Lowe's, Home Depot, $20-25. Hooked up to an air compressor, and the only requirements are that we just want to make sure they're using a 1.4 millimeter tip to a 1.6 millimeter tip, which is standard, and they have 45 to 55 psi at the gun. And the last way to do this, I don't know if any of you've seen this, but this is our liquid laminator. It's a roll-to-roll. It's only good for roll goods. You can't stick sheets through it, and you can't stick rigid goods through it. It's cured with infrared heat. It comes out on the backside. It's dry and ready to go. This machine's about $12,500. We come on site and we install it. We train everybody that needs to be trained. We spend 2 days. There really isn't a whole lot of moving parts to this machine, so maintenance is virtually nothing. We ask that you keep it clean. But when we talked about the Type 2 certification for wall covering, and when we talked about, in the future there being an type warranty with ClearShield, this is the way it's to be done, because this is the only way that we know the film thickness all the way across that media. And we can send you, we've got some, if you guys go to YouTube, there are actually a couple of videos. We'll send you guys, maybe Ted will send you the links to those, and then you can distribute those links
Good.
to the group. So you guys will get this PowerPoint just as a reference, but this is just a compatibility chart. So it basically, at the top we have machine applied coatings, and the bottom one we have roller spray applied coatings. Down the left we have the type of media, vinyl wall covering canvas, and then the type of ink used across the top. So this is a good way to just quick reference which product is the correct product for an application. So if they're doing wall covering and they're printing with latex ink, ClearShield Wall Armor would be the product. So we're just going to touch quickly on the solvent-based product and our UV curable product. ClearJet is our solvent-based product. You guys sell a good amount of the aerosol cans, and when we were mentioning frog juice earlier, if there comes a situation where a substitute's needed, this is a good product. It is also available in aerosol cans. We have it available in quarts and gallons as well. We just don't sell a whole lot of this product any longer. because ink technology has changed, media technology has changed. So when we were dealing with water-sensitive medias and inks, solvent-based product was what we wanted to put over those medias and inks. But now that you have things like solvent and latex and all that kind of, and the medias are water resistant, then we don't need this product as much anymore. But we do sell a lot of the aerosol cans because they're cheap. They're easy ways for somebody to complete a small job and put some protection on, some stickers or whatever. The MaraShield product is our UV curable product. And we were talking about an anti-graffiti coating. The MaraShield anti-graffiti coating is probably the best in the industry. The only problem with MaraShield is that you do need a piece of equipment to apply it. It cannot be applied by hand. It needs to be cured with UV light. It needs to go through a roller coater. This coating is really designed for the guys that are printing with flatbed printers. So products that, these products go over Coroplast and Dibond and acrylic and, Sintra and all that kind of stuff. We typically have this displayed in our booth at SGIA. We partner with Tech Lighting and a couple other machine manufacturers. Really, this is a fast way to coat rigid substrates. So real quick, I'm going to go through the application fluids. You guys sell this product. The Graphics Gone, the Action Tax, Window Juice, and Splash. These are designed to help with application of vinyl. So Action Tack is a competitive product to the Rapid Tax of the world. This product can be used for prep, and then it can also be used for installation of vinyl. Gives you some time to position the vinyl, get the vinyl in the position you want it, then squeegee out the solution. It's not going to attack the adhesive on the back of the vinyl. Graphics Gone is a adhesive remover. So when you're removing, for instance, vinyl off the side of a semi or a box truck, you can spray this, let it soak for a minute, and it'll help remove the vinyl and then remove any residue that's left on whatever you're removing. Window Juice is a pretty neat product. It's designed to be used on glass. So window perf, this is a great way to make sure that when you install window perf, it goes on right and it's centered and it's where you want it. It's not going to leave a streak. It's not going to leave anything on the glass. So it'll be, when you're done, it'll look the way it's supposed to look. And then Splash is a concentrate. So this is designed, it's 8 ounces. It makes a gallon of product. It's similar to Action Tack. It's not really great for a prep, but if somebody's really going through quite a bit, and this is an easy way to just mix it with a gallon of water, and off you go. It's cheap. When you compare what this makes, for a gallon versus a gallon of Action Tack, it's quite a bit cheaper. And guys, I know I'm up against the clock here, and that's pretty much it. Again, I'm trying not to go over to the time that you gave us, so we really appreciate the time.
I have a question.
Yes.
In regards to your material and outgassing of vinyl or print,
Yep.
they still need to do a 24-hour outgassing.
We would like them to, yes. Our customers who are using the liquid laminator, most of them are not. Any time that you can give to outgassing is going to be beneficial, but I realize in production that's not always possible. So anything the customer can give us, whether it's 2 hours, 4 hours, something, will certainly help.
Okay, thank you. And then you were going to show us a picture for.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, hang on 1 second. Let's see. Should we move it?
So while Chuck is looking for this picture, I just wanted to introduce myself really quickly to everyone. My name is Jordan Van Winkle. I'm inside sales. So if you guys ever have any questions, my contact information is on this PowerPoint. I'm going to be sending a follow-up email with the PowerPoint as well as some other training tools for you. If you ever get to a point where you have questions about the specific formulation that would work for an end user, feel free to reach out to me and we can talk through some different options. Also, keep in mind that we're more than happy to send out samples. So anytime that you have an end user who might want to try something, you can reach out to me and I can send something out that day.
Question for you on that real quick, Jordan, is should it be your email address I have in there for sample requests instead? I've got Miss Stowers or Towers.
So, yep, if you want to go ahead and change it to my email address, I'll be able to help y'all with whatever type of sampling you need.
That'll be great. Thank you very much.
All right. So here's what we have behind our building, and actually today, do you see this picture? Are you guys able to see this? My screen?
Yes, sorry, we are all on
Yes.
mute.
Yes.
Okay, so on some of these you can see the date. So they were put up 7/12 of 2012. This photo was taken probably 14 months ago. But the image on the left is coated with clear shield, and the image on the right is the same image that we just printed. Today, if I took a picture of what's out there now, most of the uncoated ones, there's nothing left, and the vinyl is just cracking. So at this point, we're looking at, it's been up there 6 full years. It'll be 7 years in July. The product works. The product will absolutely work. So I just thought I'd share this with you so you can see, how well it does actually work. And this is printed. I think these are printed on Oracle vinyl, if I'm not mistaken.
Anybody have any other questions that we didn't ask already?
You guys have any swatch books so we can see how glossy or how sand?
Sure, we can do that. What I'll do is I'll have Jordan get with Ted, and if I don't know what the easiest way to do that is to get them to you. If you want to send us everybody's address, we can send some out, or we can send them to you and you can disseminate them. It's up to you.
Well, Jordan, actually, you guys do have a contact information sheet that I sent out, so that would be what I would suggest. In the West, I don't know about others throughout the rest of the company. So, Jordan, you still have that contact sheet that I sent you?
I do, and I can go ahead and send that out to everyone.
Okay. because that's to the warehouses. So just let me know when you do, and I'll let everybody know to expect that coming in.
Okay.
Okay.
Say, Chuck,
Yeah.
could you send us a copy of that photo?
This one? Sure.
Yeah.
You bet.
Chuck, you beat me to.
I'm sorry?
I said he beat me. He beat me to asking you for that picture.
No problem.
Just
No
send
problem.
it to me, Chuck. Just send it to me, and I'll send it out to the team.
Okay. And if you guys want this PowerPoint, I'm happy to send that as well. If you want to use it as a reference, that's fine too.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Ted.
Yes. Anything else?
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate the time.
Chuck and Jordan, we do appreciate you coming on this meeting with us and giving us the information that we can hopefully use to sell a little bit of Marabu for you. Okay.
Absolutely. And guys, we are always open to coming on site and making calls with you guys. So, if you feel there's some opportunities in your region and in your territory, please do not hesitate to give us a call. We'll get on a plane. We'll come see you. We'll make some calls with you for a couple days, and we'll see if we can close some business with you.
Okay, great.
That's great.
If you guys do that, let me know as well. Okay.
I have one question for you, Chuck.
Sure.
Can you tell me are you familiar with photo text?
Sure.
So which one do you use with it?
The Clear Shield.
What fabric it is?
Yeah, the Clear Shield wall armor can we used with that product.
Okay.
We actually we work closely with those guys. They actually have one of our machines, and they coat. When they hand out coated samples, they just coat and cut it up. So, Phototex works very, very well with the coatings.
Thank you.
You bet.
Chuck, thank you very much for the time. Appreciate
You
it.
bet.
Gordon, again, thank you for setting this all up with me and getting this put together.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great week.
You too. Thank you again.
Thanks. Bye.
Everybody else stay on. Okay. Just a couple things to go over before we have our next guest, who will be coming on at about noon. I'm going to try to go through this very quickly so that we can have enough time to take a small break before we have our second guest. I do apologize for doing this back to back. I did not mean to do that by any means. I just screwed up. So, okay, first, 3M 1080 Avery SW900 collar decks. You guys know that we charge the customer, but if the customer were to buy 10 yards of, let's say they get a 3M color deck, they can get that $10 back after buying 10 yards of a 3M color. Okay. One time only, generally, and if it's a big customer, then we can go ahead and make different arrangements. We can figure it out. So I just want to make sure you guys know that even though we don't give them out as much as we used to by any means, it's still available to the customer for free that way. Okay. You have to let me know that they've ordered a 10-yard roll so that I can go ahead and issue a $10 credit, or send me a thing saying $10 credit for this roll because they ordered, because they got a collar swatch deck. Okay. Everybody knows about the 3M price increase that went into effect on Friday. Everything should be updated, I believe, and new pricing will be coming out to you guys very shortly. Okay. Avery is coming probably in March. Anybody questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. Make sure you guys are doing research before you guys send me emails asking to do this, do that for instance, price matching something. If you guys don't have any documentation from the customer for, let's say, a tool, you should be going online and taking a look at Google to see if there's somebody on the first page that is a reputable reseller to see if they have a better price. If they do, send that to me and I'll go ahead and see if we can match it. Instead of sending it to me, can we do a better price on this? I don't want that anymore, please. Okay, so send me whatever you can on that. Documentation. If you don't have documentation, don't ask. I mean, you can still ask for certain things, but if a customer refuses to give you documentation, we'll talk about it, but don't ask for just better pricing just for the sake of better pricing. Okay? There's no reason for us to have better pricing than what's on the cheat sheet. If it's not on the cheat sheet, then most likely nobody else is reducing the price either. Okay? If it's for multiple roles, then give me a call, we'll figure it out, or send me an email and I'll see if there's something we can do. If it's for 2 or 3 roles, don't bother. If it's for 6 or 7 or 10 or 20, call me, let me know. Database. Our gold mine is, it's in bad shape. We all know that. Give me a minute. Got so many calls now. Our gold mine database, we just need to try to clean it up. If you guys have a customer who has 2 account numbers, they should only be using 1. And let me know, send me an email saying you'd like to keep this customer number and either delete or reference all other orders from that other customer number to this number, whatever it is. One you want to keep, the one you want to get rid of. Okay, if you find that. Same with your franchises. If you see on your franchise list that a customer and that you know for a fact they're not a franchise, send me an email saying this customer is not a franchise. Please take it off the franchise list. I want to try to clean this up as best we can. The other thing is that sometimes you guys have email addresses, but it's not in Goldmine. If you see that you don't have an email address for a customer in Goldmine, put an email address in there. Let's try to keep the database as clean as we can and up to date as we can. That's a great call, by the way. If you notice they don't have, you're researching, they don't have an email address, call them up. Go see them, say, hey, what's the email address that you guys normally use? Something like that to get a hold of you. Okay? If you quote something to a customer, please put it in notes. I've quoted the 3164G, for instance. Can you guys still see me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, it looks like I froze. So it looks like everybody's frozen. Can you still hear me?
We're here.
Okay,
We
good.
see you.
We hear you.
Okay, so when we're talking about if you quote something and I see, hold on a minute. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what my computer I don't know what it's doing. So, but anyway, I'm finding that she quoted something I have to actually do research, and I just don't have the time to be able to do that kind of research. And if everybody else, I want to make sure that they don't have to do research if they're talking to one of your customers to help, because you're taking care of their accounts while they're on vacation. So is working on Alpha Graphics, Tint Worlds, and the ARC franchises, as well as Thomas Printworks. So these are the people that you don't necessarily need to go after on your franchise accounts. Keep in touch with them, but you don't have to concentrate as much. And those are the ones you don't really have to call on at this point in time.
What? So ARC, say it again. Which ones?
That's right. Alpha Graphics, Tint World, ARC franchises, and Thomas Printworks. Just to let you guys know, they don't do a whole lot of business with us. They really don't, not yet. That's why he's calling on them. Still keep in contact with them if you can, but don't push hard for anything because they just don't do a lot of business with us. And from what I can tell and what we can tell is there's no real plans for them to do a lot. Alpha Graphics is the one that has the most potential right now. Okay. Questions on that? There will be others, just to let you know, there are others that we will be adding to that. When I send out an email that you need to respond to this, make sure you put it in that same email with that same, what do you call it?
Reply.
Subject line. What has happened is that you guys will combine it in a different email or send me a new email without that subject line, and it gets lost. If I have it the same subject line, I can actually go and search that subject line, be able to find all the emails regarding that, and that way I know if you have sent it to me or have not. The case in point is that special project for the 5 things to use this year to make your making more money, basically. There were a couple people that sent it in a different email, and I didn't see that they had sent it to me, so I got with them and found out that they sent it in a different email with a different subject line. Please try to do that. If it's a new email, if it's something new, send me a new email with a different subject line regarding whatever you're sending. Don't combine emails or subjects in one email, please. Okay? And let's see here. If you're covering a warehouse, let's say right now, for instance, Jane is covering for Carly. Please make sure that you are sending, if you send me a request, make sure you copy who you're covering for. Okay? If you don't copy, they don't know that you've actually already taken care of things. We've got to make sure that we keep communication proper and open. Questions on anything? Nobody? No questions?
We're still calling on franchises except for those.
Yeah, you still call in the franchises, but I'm not going to look at you and say, you didn't call your Alpha Graphics in 2 months. I'm not going to, get mad at you or anything like that.
But we still have to call on all of them.
Again, I'll be contacting you with that list to let you know which ones you do and do not need to really contact or concentrate on.
Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Who just joined us? Is that Randy?
No, this is Ryan Allen. I'm the regional technical specialist with Avery Denison. Randy should be on shortly.
Okay. Thank you, thank you for letting me know who you are. Guys, we're quick. We're going to take a 5-minute break before we have everybody else. So if you need to get something to drink, go to the restroom, anything like that, let's go ahead and do that now. Because I know this is a long day, so let's try to do that, okay?
Okay.
There you go.
Thanks.
Randy, you on?
There he is. I was just getting ready to send you a text.
We took a small break because we were on the phone. We've been on the phone since 11, so I want to give everybody a small quick break.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
How you doing?
All I kept thinking about yesterday, and I know you'll appreciate this, is the Chiefs could have walked through either one of those two teams yesterday.
Exactly. I thought the exact same thing. I'm like looking at that game, and I'm like, man, we would have been at 42, maybe 50 points already.
It was so boring. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Wait till next year.
That's right. That's exactly right. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to that. And you saw Mahomes got for the
MVP. Yep.
MVP for the NFL, right? Yeah. For the awards on Saturday.
Yep. Right now we're all undefeated.
Yeah.
Everybody's on an equal playing field at this point, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Ted and I talk about the Chiefs on a pretty regular basis. We both bleed red.
Yes, we do. Very much so. So my daughters, actually, my two older daughters, decided to boycott the Super Bowl and what they decided to do is they went to Paris and had their Chiefs shirts on while they were in Paris to boycott the Super Bowl. I thought
that's fun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, Randy, did you want to take over? Are you on computer or just your phone?
I'm on both my computer and my phone, but I sent you all some slides yesterday, so you probably have received them and can process it. I don't think this is going to take much more than 30 or 40 minutes, Ted, depending on the questions. Let me see before we get too far into it, because I'll go ahead and start the meeting off here. But I've got some of my counterparts from across the Western region, including some technical folks. I just wanted to kind of take roll from an Avery perspective, if you'd give me a minute.
Sure.
Dave Timmerman.
He is on his way in, Randy.
Okay, that sounds like Ryan, so I'll check him off. Tamara. Would you mind pinging Tamara, Ryan?
Sure, I will.
I'm in.
Oh, there she
she
is. Your ears were burning.
Sorry, I'm late. Sorry.
Grant?
Here.
Hello, Grant. I think Molly had a previous commitment. Molly, are you on by chance?
It looked like she declined it.
Yeah, that's what I think. And Ferguson as well. How about Destiny?
I'm here, Randy.
Hey, Destiny, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. So the Fellers team probably hasn't had an opportunity. Destiny works out of our corporate headquarters back in Minner, Ohio, and we were back there last week at our national sales meeting, and I was talking to Destiny about this initiative that we're doing on cut vinyl with Fellers, and she's going to be really my liaison from a corporate perspective to make sure that we've got product available, both from an Avery perspective, and then also I'll be working with your supply chain team to make sure that we do have product available at the warehouse level as well to kick this off. And we'll talk a little bit more about that moving forward. But Destiny, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
So with that being said, Ted, do you want to address your team on any aspect before I kick it off?
No problem. And we've already gone through a lot, but as everybody knows, we're just going to go over some of the things that we have seen in the past, where it's a relaunch basically of the 750, 950 series, and a couple of other things that Randy will go through. Keep in mind, Randy, that this is my full Western team, even though you only deal with a couple of them. I think everybody else is on Tamara that takes care of the rest of it. Dave Timmerman, is he going to be on here? Probably not.
Yes, I think he is.
Oh, he is. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I apologize. I was thinking the other one. Okay. Anyway, so there you go. How about Dave Ferguson? Is he going to be on?
I think at this point he had a prior commitment, but I'm going to take some notes. And if there's anything that we need to get back to him with any specific opportunities, I will definitely let him know, Ted.
Okay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, so Randy, I'm just going to go ahead and pass it on over to you, sir.
All right, well let's kick it off, so to speak. So 2018, certainly, I don't have to tell you all, was a challenge for all of us, both on the Avery side and the Feller side, and in a lot of cases, your customer side as well. We ended up increasing your business double digit, regardless of those challenges that we had in 2018. But with the new system that we integrated last year, the Symphony program, we are set to have a fantastic 2019 moving forward. And as Ted mentioned, what I really wanted to do was take some time today to talk about what I'm using the term a relaunch of both our cut vinyl in the high performance 750 and the cast line, our SC 950. For most of you, you remember that we originally launched that product back in March of 2018. So the product's been out in the marketplace for quite some time now, almost a year, but we've all had some challenges with some availability. As you guys know, the direct order department shut our direct orders off for a period of time. We're back in play again, so all direct orders are available from Avery. But I really wanted to take some time this morning just to talk about some of the features, advantages, and benefits that this product line has, help to increase your awareness and really help to better educate you so you feel more comfortable talking to the customer moving forward. We're also going to spend a little bit of time. I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about our new prismatic reflective and our beaded reflective product category. I think we've got some great opportunities there, and I want to make sure that you feel comfortable with that material as well. So does that make sense? So I'm going to go on to the first slide, which is what we call at Avery our value proposition. What I have heard from customers and what we initially put out into the marketplace back in March of last year is some of the product, some of the leading aspects of why our product works better than the other competitors is really focused on weeding. It converts faster and has a higher quality. I've talked to a lot of sign shops, both in Southern California and now in Arizona since I've relocated over here. They've had an opportunity to work with this material, and they as well, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh my gosh, I can't believe how well it weeds, and the quality of your film, all the new colors and the configurations from the roll sizes that you guys have available, the consistent color palette, real simple warranty that we have on both of these two product categories, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in detail. The fastest custom color program with the lowest MOQs, which that's the minimal order quantity on these custom products, and an enhanced shelf life, which is 2 years from the date of manufacturing. And what we like to say is one brand does it all under the Avery Dennison umbrella. So the next slide, we're going to really focus in on the HP 750 high performance film. A lot of these bullet points are very consistent between both 750 and 950. It has the broadest color palette within the industry. We have a patented advanced acrylic adhesive technology, which enhances the shelf life, as I mentioned, which is 2 years, and is really what we call best in class when it comes to weeding. And that's what your customers, that's the feedback that we've received, and that's the feedback that you're going to consistently hear from your customers once they've migrated over to this product. You no longer have to wait. You can actually weed immediately after plotter cutting. It's more flexible to stage production and project implementation. It has a very, very high gloss paint-like finish. And of course, the application for this type of film is basically indoor-outdoor signage with flat or simple curves. focus really on the fleet channel and the crafters market. Next slide is what we call a durability for this particular film. On colors and black and white, you'll see that we have a 6-year durability. On the 2 clear types of products, we have a clear, which is our item number 103, or a matte clear, which is our item number 104. And that product has a 2-year durability. As I mentioned earlier, we've expanded our width on these products where we really are going to be focusing moving forward, in some cases on the crafters market. We've got to be competitive. We've got a 12, a 15, a 24, a 30, a 48, and a 60-inch film. Now, I do want to say that we had a conference call this morning. We have weekly conference calls at Avery on Monday mornings, and fresh off the press, I just wanted you guys to be aware, and this will come out in an email here shortly, that on the 750, we are only offering the top 7 colors in the 60-inch roll. And I have those color codes, which I know doesn't mean a lot to you guys right now, but I'm assuming that they're going to be the more popular colors that we're going to be offering in a 60-inch configuration. The next slide moving forward as we get into a cast film is our Supercast 950. Once again, it has the broadest color palette within the industry, incredible weeding capabilities, enhanced conformability, and once again, a very, very high gloss paint-like finish and applications, indoor-outdoor signage with complex curves and or fleet application. When you go into the durability on the next slide of the 750, you can see that the durability certainly goes up from a calendared film to a cast film. So you're looking at black, white, and clear up to 10 years durability. Our colors at 8 years. The metallics, with the exception of our part number 219 and 801, are 5 years. And those 2 particular colors, the metallic 219 and the 801, a 3-year durability in both the ultra gold metallic and the silver metallic.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Randy, but make sure everybody, are you guys following along with what I sent you this morning to make sure everybody got this? Is there anybody that's not following along on the presentation? Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Ted. I appreciate that. And then talking once again about the increased width that we've offered in this particular product line as well. Once again, you're going to see a 12, 15, 24, 30, 48, and 60-inch width. Now, fresh off the press as of this morning, our Supercast 950 will only be offered in the 60-inch roll in 5 colors. And once again, I will identify those colors specifically to you guys and send them out in an email this week. So I'm assuming once again it's going to be the most popular colors. But let's just make sure that we all understand this. In 60-inch rolls for the HP 750, it's limited to 7 colors. And 60-inch roll size in the SC 950, we're limiting it to 5 colors. Next slide, collateral support. This is what I think really, really sets Avery Dennison apart from the rest as far as collateral support. The swatch books that we have in our cut vinyl line are industry leading. I don't see another manufacturer out there that does anything in terms of a swatch book for cut vinyl. It really identifies, shows the colors off, talks about the durability, talks about different Pantone numbers as well. We also have a product overview sell sheet. Data sheets are always available either on our channel partner portal, or your respective Avery Dennison rep can certainly send you that information as well. The other 2 pieces of collateral support are basically in terms of a product cross-reference guide, and as I mentioned, a Pantone cross-reference guide, which in this particular product category is really helpful for a lot of sign shops to reference the Pantone numbers when their clients provide them with some kind of a spec or a project that they're interested in scoping out. So we have both of those two reference guides available. So from a sales initiative, you're probably wondering, why are we spending so much time on this? Well, we lost some market share and some ground with Fellers last year in our cut vinyl category. If you look at our sales with Fellers over the past year, I mean, we continue to dominate in color change. We had fantastic results in regards to digital, vehicle wraps, and the like. But where we really see an opportunity moving forward, both for Fellers and Avery, is to really spend more time with some of those specific customers where we have lost some business last year. And Fellers can identify that quite quickly at the customer level when we plug in an HP 700 or an SC 900 and find out where we have really lost business and potentially some trust in some of those customers. And the sales initiative moving forward is, once we get that list of those specific customers from Fellers, your Avery Dennison rep will be focusing in on those customers to try to regain the confidence and the trust and better educate them as well on the features and advantages that we have in this particular category. And then we will be in direct communication with you all to make sure that you realize where we have been, who we have talked to, and what the opportunity looks like moving forward. Now, this sales initiative is most likely going to be sometime in Q2. And the reason that I say that is we are also relaunching these particular products at ISA this year in Las Vegas. So our booth, the focus for this year's ISA show will be to continue to educate and train customers on the relaunching of both the HP 750 and the SC 950. So we think we can reach a broader audience at that particular trade show, and then we will be going out hitting those specific customers as well. But you're probably looking at a Q2 launch before the Avery reps start to go out and make those cold calls. All right, let me take a breather there. Before we get into the V4000 beaded reflective and talk a little bit about some of our prismatic film as well, I'm going to stop and take a breath. Is there any questions in regards to either one of these two product categories?
Is the cut vinyl will be on your color chart? You know how you guys have the color chart, the etch film, and everything all in like a booklet, binder? That's
a great question, Angel. Yeah, we are, as a matter of fact, configuring, I guess, our color card, which is the one that you guys are familiar with, that have the little strips that go through there that include some of the specialty films and whatnot towards the back end. Bethany, I'm not sure if you know as well, but I think those color cards should be made available in the very, very near future. Do you have an ETA? Have you heard anything, Destiny, on your end?
I don't. Color cards? Yeah, within the next couple of weeks, they should be available.
In a couple of weeks?
Yes, it should be very soon.
Okay. That's very, very good news. Well, as soon as that information becomes available and those color cards are available, we will definitely get that communication out to you guys. Right now, we have the swatch books, of course, which I think you would agree are a very valuable sales tool. But like you said, Angel, to have the other products, the specialty items, and some of the frosted and etched glass window films and whatnot, we will be having a new color card that we're putting together as we speak. Good question.
Awesome.
Any other questions? All right, well, I'm going to jump into our V4000 beaded reflective product. And Ryan Allen, who maybe some of you guys have not met, is our technical specialist out of Las Vegas. He will also be working with me to really define our slide coming up here in regards to the differences and when to use a beaded film and when to use a prismatic film. But right now, if you look at our entire portfolio, we have really, I mean, we're trying to simplify this as much as we can and really outline it in terms of good, better, and best. So if you read from right to left, the good film is what we call our V2000. You can see that how that changes in durability from a 3-year film to a 7-year film. It is a beaded reflective film, but it's not printable, and it does great on flat surfaces for general signage. It's limited in colors, so we've got 5 colors in that particular film. In regards to a better proposition, we've got the V4000, which honestly, guys, I think this is going to be your sweet spot. This is going to be the film that people are going to be looking for as far as conformability, as far as printing on that white film, and really working with vehicle graphics. It has more colors. It's got 6 colors. And I think it was Mike Henry.
Hey, Randy.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Ryan. I just wanted to jump in on the V2000 real quick.
Sure.
The V2000 is actually screen printable for flat surfaces. So if you have screen printers and things like that, you can actually target that market, and it is screen printable on flat surfaces.
Perfect. Thank you, Ryan.
You're welcome.
So on the V4000, as I mentioned, I was talking to Mike Henry in the Central region a few weeks ago. We had a similar conference call, and I love the term that Mike brought. This reflective material, especially this V4000, can turn a 12-hour wrap into a 24-hour wrap. And that just came off so smoothly the way that Mike said it, and talked to his team about creating additional opportunities with the designers at the sign shops to try to cut in and try to design the layout of particular graphics using this film. You'll see the van at the bottom there where they use a reflective material, and it just really adds some additional sizzle to that particular installation process. If you look at the V8000, now that's a prismatic film, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a second. Ryan's going to talk to us a little bit about, from the engineering standpoint, the differences between prismatic and beaded. The 8000 has a 7-year durability on white and colors, and a 3-year durability on the 2 fluorescent colors. Once again, it is printable on white. Moderate curves, also vehicle graphics, is something that you all are familiar with the chevrons on the back of ambulances and whatnot. This next slide is one I'm going to let Ryan drive the bus here in regards to talking about the 2 technologies between both beaded and prismatic films, and when to use each one of those particular materials for the right application.
Hey, how are you guys doing? So the V4000, if we jump into that, that's our new conformable beaded reflective film. It's designed for exceptional conformability to medium curves and rivets. And what this does is the way it works is it's beaded versus prismatic, and that allows it to conform better. So your eye, when looking at it, there has to be a incident light beam, which would be the source, and the way that it reflects back is called the reflective light beam, and the bead itself is a reflective coating, and so it's like a glass bead basically. So it's not as vivid as the 8000, but it is conformable. When you step into the 8000, that's when you get those striking, bold, reflective things, such as the street signs and things like that. And the 4000, which is beaded, you can also print on the white, so it is printable, which is the graphic like shown in I believe, the slide that Randy provided. And it provides 7-year durability, and the 4000 comes in 2 different types. So there's a permanent, which is a high aggressive adhesive, and then there's our LTR EZRS, which is similar to like our wrap film. So it is slidable and conformable. The 8000 provides 7 years of durability in white in colors and 3 in the fluorescent. And the prismatic film provides basically reflection from every angle that you would be at, versus the beaded would be just at certain angles.
Hey, Ryan, let me ask you a question that came up in a couple other calls here, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much for taking the time there. Given the fact that most of us within this western region fight within Zone 3 all day long with high UV, pollution, all types of things that really contaminate a wrap, especially the laminates. So for this type of a film, what type of laminate would you recommend?
So an optically clear would be the best, I would say, and I wouldn't go too thick with it. So it would be either the 6460, 6560, and the 1360. So the polyurethane or our 1360 wrap film laminate.
And I know a lot of us have been making a real conscious effort, not just with reflective film, but with standard digital, 1105, to start to move those customers, especially in those Zone 3 markets, into a non-PVC urethane product, which is our 6460. So keep that in mind when you're recommending this film as well.
For horizontal surfaces, absolutely.
Any questions on that? That's a lot of technical information for one slide. But any questions on that before we move forward? We just got a few slides left, so I want to make sure that we cover that. But
is this gray, what's it called? Grade A or grade, how they require for in the street signs or something like that?
What would be required for the street signs?
Yeah, you know how they have grade A, grade on reflective, type A or something like that. I have to look it up.
Isn't the Department of Transportation acceptable? That's what I think part of that question is.
Yeah.
Okay, so for things like that, you would definitely need the V8000 with the prismatic, like conspicuity tape, which is like the red and silver that run along trucks and things like that. That's all required things. The prismatic films that we have could qualify for something like street signs and things like that. I think there is a different level for that, but those are equivalent. That's the reflective product type that they would use in those applications.
Okay, yeah, because I know 3M has something like that. Okay.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
That's what we have. Yep.
Okay.
Is the
Yeah, the
4,000?
beaded products you can use. Beaded products you can use on unregulated street signs, so in a parking lot of a private building, a handicap notification, Bob parking
Absolutely.
spot.
Yes. You can use those in private parking lots that would say reserved for and those things. But as far as on the interstate or legal DOT signs, getting closer to that would be the prismatic.
Okay.
The nice
I
thing
heard-
about the
I heard
V4000, huh?
I think somebody else was asking a question.
Might have been me asking my cat what he's doing.
No. Probably ready for lunch.
No, it sounded like Jane starting to ask a question.
So, I mean,
Can you
kind
hear-
of to wrap up, what's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, kind of to wrap up, you have, when it comes to reflective products from Avery, you have 3 different options. You have a good, better, and best. So the V2000, you have the colors and it's screen printable. The V4, and it's for flat surfaces. The V4000, you have the colors, and then you also have the white, which is printable, and it provides a beaded reflective film, which is slightly brighter than the V2000. And then you have the V8000, which is slightly brighter than that, and that's a prismatic reflective film.
Hey,
Can
Ryan,
I ask a
think Jane
question?
wanted to ask a question. Yeah, go ahead, Jane. Go ahead.
If somebody's using 3M 680, is your
Yes.
4,000 a comparative product?
Absolutely. Yep.
And it's more
Yeah,
cost effective?
That's a
Yes,
great question.
so it is.
Jane.
It is basically the comparable product to that. It is printable. It's a beaded reflective, and it has our EasyRS conformable adhesive.
Hey, Ryan, let me go ahead and jump back in the driver's seat here real quick, because that's a great question, Jane, and it's on a competitive benchmarking overview slide here towards the end of the presentation. But let's go back into just real quickly, I'm going to overview on slide number 12, the V8000 prismatic film. Once again, just to recap, it's a 7-year unprinted durability on white and colors, and 3 years on the 2 fluorescent colors. Superior printability on the digital platforms, including both latex and eco-solvent and UV printers. Requires no edge sealing for cut letters, optimal screen printing, and then once again, it conforms to both moderate curves and rivets. And as you see in the slide, 6 high gloss colors, including the 2 fluorescents. Next slide, just some real top of mind bullet points in regards to the V4000 beaded. The 7-year unprinted durability. Our white has superior printability on all digital platforms. As I mentioned earlier, works well on latex, eco-solvent, and UV. It has our long-term removability that you're all familiar with, as well as our EasyRS adhesive that customers will be familiar with on the 1105. Once again, no edge sealing is required for cut letters. Works well on screen printing in all colors. Superior conformability on those moderate curves and rivets. And 6 very, very high gloss colors in the V4000 series.
What does the
V2000
durability go down to? When you print it, what is the durability?
That would depend on the zone.
Yeah, for the
Well,
durability.
I mean, does it decrease by 5 years or?
Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm actually checking to see the warranty dates on these. I can get back to you in just a second.
Yeah, so what Ryan's, fingering that, it really does, a lot of it depends on, I mean, it's unfortunately not a black and white answer, quite literally, because it depends on if this application is being installed in, Grants Market, could be Denver, Colorado, versus Las Vegas. So, we're talking about zone 1, zone 2, zone 3 markets scattered across North America. So Ryan's going to look for that real quick. I'm going to continue on the V2000, which is our value grade beaded film, 3-year unprinted durability, excellent conversion on plotters. And then basically we're talking about 5 high gloss colors that you can see below in the white, blue, red, yellow, and green. So Jane, the next slide is exactly what you were asking for a few minutes ago. What we've done is we've taken the V4000, which in my opinion is going to be your sweet spot for those vehicle wraps and opportunities for digital in the customers that we call on and focus on. So if you look at the Avery Dennison V4000 compared to the Orifal, the 3M, Image Perfect, and Arlon, you can see the differences that we have in terms of colors that are available, the durability. Some of the manufacturers have a long-term removability. Some are more conformable than others. All of them, of course, digitally print. Some of them screen print, some do not. Some have air egress, some do not. But in regards to the comparable between the IJ680 from 3M, that would definitely be our V4000. One thing that I do, what I have heard from a lot of customers that are using our product and have transferred over to the V4000, they talk about this, what they call bruising is a term that I hear in the marketplace. And they say that our V4000 recovers from bruising a lot faster, if at all, than the 3M 680, and requires maybe just a little bit of heat put on that particular film. But they really like that feature in our V4000 film. I've heard that a number of times. Any questions on this benchmarking overview slide? All right, we are almost there, guys and gals. Collateral, once again, I think is extremely important to your customers. We have both digital printed samples of the V4000 and the 8000, as well as hand samples of all V4000 colors in a 5x8 sample pack.
We get this from
Hey,
you,
Randy.
Ted? Ted, do we get this from you?
Yes.
Okay.
You can email either any of your Avery Dennison reps. I'm pretty sure most everybody knows who their specific rep is, and we can get those digitally printed samples and or sample packs into your hands of yourselves or shipped directly to your customers. We also have product overview and data sheets that are available on our portal, and I just put a copy of the actual product overview that I have below to show you really some of the selling features that our film has, in particular focused once again on the V4000.
Do you have the 8000?
In product overviews?
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Nice. Can you get it to Ted, please?
I'll place an order for all my guys too.
Thank you, Tamara.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks, girlfriend.
So, and Randy, I'm just jumping in here. Okay, so the warranty on those would be off of the laminate. So if you were to laminate it with the 1360, the durability is up to 4 years on that. And then that would break down by what zone you're in.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And let's remember that that is on vertical surfaces, that if your customer wants a warranty from the manufacturer on our laminate, they've got to step up to the non-PVC urethane product, which is our 6460. Very, very same conversation as if they're putting that particular laminate on our 1105. Ted, that's all I've got for you. I appreciate you taking 40 minutes of your time. I don't know if there's any other questions. Feel free to ask or reach out to your Avery rep after the call. Or
Randy?
Go ahead.
I'm just checking to see, it's great that you've got the samples of the beaded material, and I checked, and we do have the SD950 swatch cards in stock. At this point, we still don't have any of the SW900 swatch decks. Those are listed as on back order. And then the other one, is there a time frame as to getting back to being able to order sample rolls for customers?
yeah, that's Chuck, right?
Yeah,
I thought I recognized your voice. How you doing, Chuck?
you did indeed. I'm well, Randy. Thank you.
Good. Trust me when I tell you this, we're asking the same question almost on a daily basis. In regards to the swatch books, as most of you guys know, we introduced some really, really sexy new colors at the SEMA show last November in Las Vegas that are doing extremely well. So we're going to be building the new colors into the swatch book. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen overnight. And that goes out to a third-party vendor to put all those colors in by hand. I don't have a time frame, Chuck, as far as when that's going to be available. But in regards to your second question on sample rolls as well, the sample rolls have been under what we have called a suspension. But here's what we're doing to get around that in some cases. If you have let's just call it a large opportunity, and large to you versus large to me might be a little bit different, but work with Mr. Timmerman on qualifying that opportunity, because we also have utilized in certain situations, we've tapped into the Feller's market development funds and have been able to actually take material out of the warehouse and ship it specifically to that customer to have them test and trial it. And then we credit Feller's back for that part of the market development fund process. But I mean, we really have to qualify the opportunity to make sure that it's worth, sending out a 25-yard roll or whatever the case might be to qualify it. And all I would ask everybody is just work with your Avery rep to do that. Stacy Clausen has been very, very good to work with me as far as been very generous in approving those market development funds that are really set aside to help pay for your catalog, trade shows, internet updates, things like that is really what that money is set aside to do. But just given the situation that we're in right now, until we come off of what we're calling a suspension on the sample rolls and short rolls and get those back on the portal, we're just going to have to play the game a different way.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question for you, Randy, or whoever might be on the phone that can answer this question. Did we change the backing paper on the 1360?
We changed. This is Ryan. I can answer that if you would like. So yes, there there was actually a change in the liner itself to an anti-static, which would help the shops from pulling dirt and things like that up. We recognize that there was some issues in visually, and a lot of that stuff, when it was actually laid out, either was unnoticeable, and the parts that were noticeable disappeared in post-heating. We are still working on a fix for that, but looks like we're close to it.
Okay. Thank you for that. I just had a customer that was asking about that, and thought I'd make sure everybody else knew on the team that knew that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Where was it? Where was it out of?
Out of Portland.
Oh, okay.
So Dave already took care of it with the customer, but I just didn't know about it, so I wanted to let everybody else know.
Good question.
Second thing is, I'm sorry, for my team, if you guys don't have access to the portal to be able to order all your different things like sample rolls, that of course we're not getting right now, but in the future we will. Make sure that you contact your sales rep at Avery Dennison so that you have a login. Everybody should have a login, and all the collateral that you need is either on there and or with your sales rep at Avery. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that real quick.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so I would be the tech rep for the Portland area as well.
Okay.
And I talked to Dave this morning about that.
Okay.
And
so I'm talking about yeah.
Yeah. So those issues are very slim now. That's died out, and I think it's going to be gone before we know it. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. Anybody have any other questions? Anybody have any other statements or comments? Well, Randy and team, I really appreciate you getting on the phone with us and going through everything in the relaunch of the 750, 950 and showing off your new 4,000 beaded reflective material. It's really nice. Hopefully we can, get back some of that business back that we did lose on the 750, 950 cut line. So,
well, I think that this is a step in the right direction to initially kick it off and just help to kind of go through it and, talk about the education and help to increase the awareness with your team. And then we're going to have to go out there and do the same thing with your customers to regain that business that we did lose last year. So we're looking forward to the opportunity. From a timing perspective, I'll make sure to keep you all in the loop on what that looks like. But once again, I really sincerely appreciate you guys taking the time today to talk to us about it. And if there's any questions or anybody wants to reach out to me or any of my counterparts after the call or at any time, I mean, we are about as transparent of an organization as you can want to deal with. So just let us know how we can help you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Well, I'm done. We've already done everything else. I think we're done.
You guys go out and have a great afternoon.
You too, buddy. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Did you want to schedule the relaunch?
Say that again.
Did we want to schedule the relaunch for like September or something?
Smart ass. All right, guys. You guys, hey, have a great week, okay? Call me if you need anything else or if I need to be involved.
Thanks.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Long,
Bye.
everybody.